Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're here for the first time. My name is Bailey and today I'm going to be talking about some of my current favorites. I feel like this is definitely more of like an old school YouTube vibe, and yeah, it just feels nostalgic to me, so I thought it would be fun to just kind of talk about some things that I've been loving lately this month or just recently. Right now it is August 4th, so I guess like in the past couple months, just things that I've been loving. And these are all things that are like, I guess kind of pop culture related, but none of them are necessarily like products or like clothing items or anything like that. The only physical things I'll talk about is books, but I made a little note on my phone of just some current favorite things. So I have podcasts, YouTubers, TV shows, and books. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in that order and just talk about current things that I've been loving. I wanted to do this because I feel like I'm always looking for recommendations for these exact 4 things, and so I figured that I would just put my recommendations out there if they're helpful to anyone, if anyone, you know, finds a new YouTuber they like, a new book they love or something. I thought it would just be fun, and of course, let me know if you have any favorites in these categories or just other stuff that you want to share as well. So the first thing I'll talk about is podcasts. So I don't know what has happened to me because I used to be the biggest like music girl. I was obsessed with music. I would always make playlists for my friends. I loved like learning people's music tastes, loved sending them music I thought they would like, and I still definitely love those things, but I just get tired of music so fast, and I don't know what it is, but I've just super been into podcasts lately, like this past year. I feel like I've only been able to find one that I really love, but I've been listening to a couple others recently, so I wanted to include those. My favorite podcast is What We Said Podcast by Chelsea Jade Curtis and JC Marie Smith. It's just like a super fun, girly podcast. They talk about a lot of pop culture stuff. They talk about their lives. They go through like stories. They'll do a write-in thing on their Instagram. So like write in your father-in-law horror stories, or write in your roommate horror stories, or like the nicest thing anyone's ever done for you, just stuff like that, and they just like read them and react to them, and it's just really entertaining and fun and lighthearted, and that's what I love about it, is it's just like so chill, so fun. They do one episode every Tuesday, and then the second and fourth Friday of the month they also have episodes as well, so it's like 6 per month. I wish it was more, and I wish they were longer, but they're usually about an hour long. The second podcast that I've been listening to is by John Mark Comer. This goes with a Bible study that we're doing right now with my Bible study at my church. Let me find it. So it's the Rule of Life podcast, and he's going through like a ton of different subjects, I guess you would call them. There's like Sabbath, prayer, fasting, and they're still making more, but we've been doing the prayer one, so the podcast line up with a practice that he has. It's like a Bible study that I think each one's 4 weeks, so this is the prayer one that we've been doing, and I've listened to the first 3, and then we have one more to go. So it's just been really good, and it's 4 people, so it's John Mark, Tyler, there's an Irish girl, so I just love listening to her voice, and it's cool to hear from different cultures, and there's also an African guy, and his name is Reward. I just think that's so cool, and it's just cool to hear like their different perspectives on prayer from like the cultures they grew up in versus being in America, and just all their different thoughts and just their different walks of faith. It's just been really good and encouraging, and yeah, I would definitely recommend that if you're a believer. The next podcast is Huberman Lab, so I feel like most people have probably heard of this, but if you haven't, it's this guy named Andrew Huberman. He is a professor. I can never remember. I should have looked this up, but it's like, I think professor of neuroscience and ophthalmology is what it is. And he is just super smart, and he talks about a bunch of just like random subjects, all to do with like the body, like eyesight and headaches. We were just listening to a headache one last night. Talks about sleep and just all sorts of stuff, and it's really interesting. And yeah, I just really appreciate his stuff, and a lot of it's about just like your health. And so yeah, if any of that stuff sounds interesting to you, then I would definitely recommend it. Next, I'm going to talk about YouTubers I like. YouTubers are the main thing that I wish I could find more of them that I liked. I feel like I'm kind of picky, but the ones that I do like are all similar to each other. So if you have other recommendations, please let me know. But the first one is Kristin Johns. If you're my friend, you know that I love her, have for years. She's just so cute, and I love her husband too. He's just so funny. And my husband, I miss his content that he would put out. It's been so long since he's made a YouTube video, but they used to be so funny. And she's also just been like super slack lately in posting. So she's like a all-time favorite, but as far as like current favorites go, my next one's Allison Bickerstaff. She's just like so pure, and I just feel like she truly romanticizes every single moment of her life, but in the most genuine way possible. Like, yeah, she does record a lot of her life for social media and stuff, and like her job is YouTube, but I feel like even if she didn't have that as her job, she would still be the exact same person. Like, she does a lot of gardening, and she does a lot of like home stuff, cooking, baking. She makes sourdough, like decor and stuff like that, home decor, and she does like travel vlogs and stuff. And so she's just like so cute, and I always feel inspired by her, just the beauty that she finds in just everyday stuff. I feel like she doesn't really have a super extravagant life or anything. She just finds a way to make literally everything beautiful. And yeah, I just really love her. I feel very inspired by her, and she's a believer. The next YouTuber I really like is Michelle Reed. She's very similar to Allison Bickerstaff. I feel like she's a little less like whimsical, I guess. Allison's super into butterflies, garden, just like mermaids, all that kind of stuff. She has like a cute golden retriever. I just really love her as a person. I love hearing her talk, and she's just super genuine. She's a believer too, so I like when she talks about her faith. So yeah, she also does a lot of like days in the life stuff, and I just love it. So entertaining for me because it's really peaceful and calming. The next YouTuber that I like is Jacqueline Brooke. So I'm 23. I'm pretty sure Jacqueline's 23. Michelle, I think, is 25, and Allison maybe is 26. Jacqueline's definitely the one that I feel like maybe I can relate to the most, but maybe just because like we're the same age. She got married like a week before I did, and I feel like we're in similar life stages. But she also has a cute golden retriever puppy. She lives in Atlanta. She basically does the same thing as the other girls. She talks about her faith a lot, and I really like that. She talks about marriage, and she does videos with her husband sometimes too, and those are just entertaining, and I feel like they have good stuff to say. If you guys have anyone else similar to them, let me know. A few honorable mentions are Rachel Catherine. She does a lot of book videos, and she's a believer too. And then Haley Pham, her book channel, she's a believer too. And it's not like people have to be Christian for me to watch them, but I just feel like I relate more to those types of people, which is why I'm drawn more to them. But I'm, you know, open to watching anyone. Oh my gosh, and JC Marie Smith, I can't believe I forgot about her. I watch her vlogs, they're fun, her weekly vlogs. I would put her in the current favorites. So yeah, and like, she's not a Christian. I guess she's like talked about her faith in the podcast, how she used to be a Mormon and now she's not anymore. So like I said, they don't have to be Christian, but I do relate more to those. The next category is TV shows. So this is the one I was probably most excited for, and I'm just gonna read them off of my phone. The first one is The Crowded Room. This is on Apple TV Plus with Amanda Seyfried and Tom Holland. It is really good. It's a mini series, and all the episodes are out now. It's like 10 episodes, and basically you see in the beginning Tom like committing this crime with another girl, and the girl runs away and she's nowhere to be found. So they're like questioning him, and they're like, where is she, what did you do? He like shot this guy, basically shot at him but missed, and so he got arrested for that, and they're just questioning him. And then everything just seems like super confusing and weird. You think he has something wrong with him, and then it takes a long time to figure out what even is going on, and then after that, like, it's still just like hooked the entire time. And it is about mental illness, and it is dark. Definitely just trigger warning for that kind of stuff, but it was so good, and the ending was really, really good. Would definitely recommend that. The next one, of course, is The Summer I Turned Pretty. I really liked the first season. The second season I've been watching, I think I've watched 3 or 4 episodes. It's not it for me right now. I don't know what it is. Like, I like the vibes, Team Comrade Forever. I read the books when I was in middle school, so it feels very nostalgic, but I completely understand they would make changes from the book to the show to make it more relevant today. However, I feel like they've done it in a way that takes me out of the story, because it feels like they're trying to be more relevant than just like show a natural story happening. I don't know, I just haven't been that interested, but I'm still definitely gonna watch it. Next is Only Murders in the Building. We watched this a few months ago, but I added it in because the new season comes out in like just a few days. I'm so excited. You should totally watch it. It's like a murder mystery comedy, and it's just so good. It's Selena Gomez, Steve Martin, and Martin Short, and it's just so funny, and I love it. I think it's on Hulu, and The Summer I Turned Pretty is on Amazon Prime. Next is The Last of Us. This was something we watched earlier this year, but I was just thinking about it because I was like, that's just such a good show. It's about like basically the apocalypse. There's this disease. I mean, it's kind of like the Walking Dead vibes, but it's based on a video game. It is good, and I would recommend it if you like that kind of vibe, but I definitely like that. I loved The Walking Dead, so yeah, but I know that's not for everybody. The next one is Survivor. This, you know, could be like classic for some people, but I never watched Survivor until earlier this year, and then me and Drew just like binged so many of them. Like, we would just watch an episode or 2 every night while we were eating dinner, and it has just been so good. Like, I love it so much. I'm thankful that I never watched it growing up, because I am able to watch so many seasons now. I think we just finished season 33 like 2 nights ago. So yeah, it's just so good, and I love it, and I can't wait for the next season to come out. It's gonna start on, I believe, September 27th, so like 2 months, but I know that'll be here before I know it, so very excited for that. Next show that I have been loving is The Kardashians. So I've watched all of the seasons like of the newest show. I think it's just called The Kardashians on Hulu, but it's sad because it just finished. Season 3 finished, and season 3 was good, but I just always want more. And I've never ever been a fan of the Kardashians until recently, like until their second season came out. I was listening to What We Said podcast last year, and they were talking, or maybe it was this year, I don't know. They were talking about it, and I was like, I should watch it. And then I just like was super interested. So now I'm gonna talk about books that I've been loving lately. These are all ones that I've read in the past like couple of weeks, except for one of them I read like 2 months ago, I believe. The first book that I just absolutely love, and I think this may be my favorite book of all time, is Love in Other Words by Kristin. It is essentially about a girl and a guy who are like childhood best friends, and it takes them a really long time to like realize that each other loves the other one. It's just really sweet to like see them grow into loving each other, but then something happens and you don't know what it is, and it causes them to like cut off communication for I think like 11 or 12 years, and then they meet back up and like rekindle their friendship kind of unintentionally. Like, I think they just see each other at a coffee shop or something, and then the whole book is then and now. So then is basically taking you through their friendship and how it like led to falling in love with each other, and then something happened to make them cut off the communication, and that's what the whole book is leading up to. The now is kind of like rekindling their friendship, and you know there's still some feelings there, but whatever happened is what's holding them back. So you're basically just reading till you can find out what that thing was that happened, and I just really loved it. I loved the chemistry between the characters. It was like none that I've ever read before. I gave this book 5 stars. I think that everybody should read it. The next book is Better Than the Movies. This book is so freaking cute, if you have read The Cheat Sheet, which this is an all-time favorite, not current favorite though, The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. It's so freaking cute. I gave it 5 stars as well. Better than the movies, it gives me cheat sheet vibes. It's basically about this girl who lost her mom when she was young, but her mom always loved rom-coms, so this girl's basically like living her life like she's in a rom-com. She always wears like cute dresses, has her makeup done, she's just like super cute and just dreams of, you know, having her own real life rom-com. And so this boy moves back into town who was like her childhood crush, and she's so excited, and her like enemy, who is her neighbor, she's getting him to help her basically get the guy who moved back into town, Michael, to ask her to prom. So the whole thing is like her working with the enemy, Wes, to get Michael to ask her to prom. And oh, it's just so freaking cute, and I loved it. My only hang up with it is maybe the first like 20-30% was a little slow, and then the ending I just needed more, but it was very, very good, and I think I gave it 4 stars. Next book is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I read this last week at the beach and I loved it. I did give it 4 stars, which to me is very high. Like 5 stars I reserve for books that are like almost perfect, just so freaking good. But this one was really, really good, and it's basically about a girl and a guy who dated for a long time, I think like 8 years, and they were seemingly soulmates. They met in college. Well, this girl and her 2 best friends she met in college would always go to this beach house up in New England area every summer. They would invite a few of their other friends that kind of like joined their friend group along the way, slash if they had like relationships, and so they would go every summer. It starts with the girl and the guy who were dating for 8 years. They're broken up, they were engaged, and they haven't told anyone. Their friends don't even know. So they get invited to go back to this house for the summer, for their summer trip, and they say like, this is, you guys have to be there because her dad's selling the house. And so they go, and they basically have to like fake date while they're there, but it's really sad because like you can just tell the girl, you get her perspective, and she just still has feelings for him, and it's just really sad because he feels like he seems like he's fine. And so you get a then and now. Then is like taking you through their relationship, similar to Love in Other Words, where you just like learn like when they met, when they started liking each other, how they fell in love, to now seeing how sad it is that they aren't apart. And it's just really, really good, and I just really loved it, and I would totally recommend it. The next book on my list is The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. I actually just finished this. I read all of my books almost on my Kindle. This I guess is a current favorite, but I love my Kindle. Currently reading Book Lovers by Emily Henry, but I read all my books on my Kindle almost, except for I did borrow this from a friend, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. He is really freaking amazing, and this is just about like eliminating hurry from your life. He talks about why he thinks we need to eliminate hurry and how to do that. Very practical steps on how to. I feel very, very challenged by the things that I read in this book. I think because of this book I will very much change a lot of things about my life. And then the last book that I have, or this is really a series that I've been loving currently, is the Harry Potter audiobooks. I listened to all of these earlier this year, and then I just restarted it because I love them. I just love listening to it. Honestly, in the shower I just put it on every day and listen, and so it's taken me forever to get through them this time, but I also listen on like 0.88 times speed because I just want to like soak in all the details, and it's just so good. Jim Dale is the narrator. He's an old English man, and so I love his accent, and also he has a perfect Hagrid imitation. It is crazy. So yeah, I get those on Hoopla, so it's, you know, free, and they have all of them. So yeah, would definitely recommend that if you like Harry Potter. Even if you haven't read it before, you should listen to the audiobooks because they're so freaking good. That's all my current favorites as of now, but this may be a video I start doing like every few months because it was fun. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I am appreciative of you being here. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye!